he's retired now, and he so maybe I don't know. Maybe him and his podcast crew, man, they need something to talk about. So if he says something outlandish, then yeah, crazy in it. I guess, man. Yeah. What's this one here? Big up to LFC. What are you saying there? Football world is so rattled about the transfer. Do you know what? I think Tony Cruz is rattled from the Florian Wirtz stuff. I think from there, he's like, why would you choose Liverpool, man? You know what I mean? Lovely Oni. That's why I did see that, you know, he was like no to Newcastle and he wanted to come to Liverpool as well. No one wants to go to Newcastle, guys. Let's be honest, man. Let's be honest. Out of context. I get, yeah, every one of the comments are normally out of context, isn't it? Really, unless you read the whole, or watch the whole stream in it, I guess. And it's probably something along the lines that, oh, we don't really watch English football, or something along those lines. So no one really pays attention to see who's doing what and who's good and stuff like that. And he probably said most of my probably don't even know who Isak is because they never watch the English Premier League. So probably, I don't know. Didn't read the whole thing, saw the quotes, which was jokes. Um, but they're always going to be taken out of context, man. Every one of the little snippets you get from the journals, unless underneath they put the whole statement or what I mean, the whole interview. But then even when you read it as well, you don't see like posture, mannerisms, facial expressions. So you don't know if they're joking, if they were having a laugh. You don't get the context of the conversation, the context of the question. It's just what they said, and you kind of have to make your own assessment about what's said. So yeah, it's mad. Big up to James says Guay's coming in January apparently. Um, I don't know. Wait and see, bro. Wait and see. I guess I know I've seen a couple of the quotes from Lewis still, which we will touch on. But let's get into it, man. And once South comes, we'll catch him up to speed as well. But big up to everyone that's already in the building. As we said, man. So let's make sure we have the same amount of likes. And if you're new to the channel, consider subscribing as well. And there's a poll in the chat. You know what I mean? So when we do our morning check-in, we make sure we see how the people are. Let's go and have a quick look at that. 50-50, 12%. Feeling good, 6%, which is good. Could be better. Could be better is at 22%. Yeah, we need that to change before the end of the stream. We want everyone to be feeling good or feeling great. 61% said feeling great, thanks. So big up to everyone in the building, man. Anything you want to share it. Drop it up if you need to as well. But let's get into it, man. Michael, I'm joking. Michael Olise, guys. We've spoken about him quite a few times. I know the guys on the chat on the show always on the channel always speaks very, very highly of this player. I know some of you guys in the chat joke about the comparisons between we look the same, which I don't see it, but that's just me. In terms of, is he going to be a good replacement for Mohamed Salah? 110%. 110%. If you had to ask me if there's someone out there we could go in and get to replace Mo Salah, even in January, we have to get that person in. I would love to get him in. I'd honestly love to get this guy in our team. At Palace, he was really, really good. And since he's gone to Bayern, I think his levels have massively increased in the way he performs on a match day, game to game. I don't know if many of you kind of watch the Bundesliga. I do quite a lot. So the style and how he plays, everything looks so effortless and so easy and so elegant. And obviously he's in a team with full of like top level players as well. So that massively helps, what he's been able to go there and achieve. And I know most people kind of look at the numbers and seeing, okay, he's scored this amount, got this amount of assists and stuff like that. I look at the way he performs within the game, and he's consistently a threat throughout every game I watch him playing. Whether the goals come within the game, whether the assists come within the game, he's just absolutely an absolute problem. He's not you would say the fastest player in the world, but he's got enough speed. His agility, balance, the way he jinks past players, he can go to the byline, he can also cut in. And what I've noticed a lot as well this season, last season going into this, he uses his right foot hell of a lot more now. So naturally, he's normally left-footed, obviously, and he likes to operate mainly off his left side, but he doesn't mind getting shots away off his right. Doesn't mind he doesn't mind taking people down to the byline, which you have to kind of use your right foot. And because he's so unpredictable in terms of the way he dribbles, the way he plays, his thought process within the game, nah, this you add that to what we currently have in this squad, what we're trying to build, that could be absolutely insane. And as I said to everyone, man, we want Liverpool to be the best team in the world on a consistent basis. We want to dominate world football. We want when teams turn up to Anfield, not only are they scared of the crowd and the atmosphere, you want them to be scared of the players they're coming up against. They're looking across next to them, whether that's on the right hand side or the left hand side, and going, yeah, this game is going to be very difficult today. And I think Michael Olise will do that, man. I think he'll come in and he'll absolutely ball out. The problem that we have, guys, is Mohamed Salah, right? We know he's got that legendary status at the football club. He's Mr. Liverpool at points. He's the king, as you know, he's normally quoted to be. The problem we have at the moment is with Salah. Salah, we know he will score. We know he'll get assists. It's just when. We know it will happen. It's just when. We're at a stage now within the team where it's not that he's not needed. It's more so the moments that he speaks about, him saying he's a moments player now going forward in his career, right? The moments you speak about seems to be coming late on in games now. Or it's he's not available in terms of he's not a part of the team while for about 50, 60, 70 minutes on a game to game basis, and then you're waiting for that moment. Um, for me, when I watch our team, and I'd love to know what you guys think. For me, when I watch our team, I don't want to be waiting that long for moments to happen. I want those moments to be could be in the first five, could be in the first 10, and I'm not saying he's never done that in the first five and in the first 10, but his game is tailored now around waiting for these moments. I'll wait on the end of the line. I'll wait at the back to make sure, when the ball gets out to me, I'll go and make something happen, which is fine. But while that's going on, there's so much taking place within that first 20 minutes from a defensive work, transitional work, so much patterns of plays trying to, happen. But if you're not a part of all that while we're trying to do that, when you do get the ball, you have to give us those moments straight away. If the trade off as such will be okay, we'll do all the other stuff, but when the ball comes to you, we need something to happen. For me, if we're gonna trade off the heavy workload, we're gonna need those moments. And for me, I think we should measure it a season by season. When we talk about longevity, when we talk about status at the football club, Mo Salah is up there against the best of the best, right? And you can take a pick where you put him depending on your generation and stuff like that. You can put Mo Salah where you want to put him. He's up there though. There's no question about that. The problem we have though, and I think some section of our fan base is we think more for player than the team. And at the moment, we want our team to play better football. That's one. We also want our team to be a bit more dominant within games. That's two. And Mo Salah affects that in a positive and also a negative way at times as well. So I think if we want our team to go back to, remember when we was in that first 20 minutes where teams were just getting bopped off the park, players like Michael Olise will come into the team and that's what we'll get. Obviously, Mo Salah is at the back end of his career, but he's probably a hell of a lot fitter than most 20-year-olds, to be fair to him. But I think us going forward, we're gonna need to level up. And it doesn't mean that means that's a disrespect to what we currently have. It just means the team is moving forward. Similar to when, obviously, everyone can say when they started. I'd love to know when you all started supporting Liverpool as well. If you want to throw that in the chat, and then we can talk about it. But similar to when like Gerrard for me, right, growing up, and I was like, yeah, this team can't do anything without him. That like he carried on us on his back. He was scoring important goals. He was turn up in important moments when he wasn't on the pitch. You can see that affected the team. But as soon as the moment come to like he had to get dropped out of the team, and I remember against Real Madrid. You remember when if you guys are around the same generation, They put him on the bench, and I was like, "What is Brendan Rodgers doing here? Why are we throwing the main guy on the bench?" And I was like, "Nah, we can't be doing that." But obviously, the gaffer had his own way, his own style, his own players he wanted to implement, and he knew Gerrard was near the end of his like career time in it, so he wanted to give the chance to the other players, whether we respected or rated them players at that point. The manager did. So I think similar to that. I didn't like the change then. I didn't like it, but then we moved past that. We had some sticky points, and then we had Klopp, and then Klopp just revamped everything, got in all them superstars, that became superstars, I should say, and we started cooking. At the moment, we already have some superstars. So even if we lost a player like Mo, or not even losing, but if he leaves after his 2 years, I don't think it's the end of the world. But I feel like most fans are thinking like that. I feel like some fans, I should say, not most. I feel like some are thinking if he leaves or he doesn't play, if he's on the bench, it means Liverpool won't score, we won't assist. I think he'll be the total opposite. But I think we have to see it first because I'm just speaking out of terms. So I guess it's one of those ones. I don't know if that's going to be true until it's proven right. You don't know if it's true as well. So we kind of have to wait and see what happens with that. But I think a player like Elise would come in and absolutely tear up the Premier League again. Because when he was at Palace, he was doing that. But I think now he's in a better phase of his career. Yeah, man, I think he'll be absolutely cold. But big up to everyone locked in, man. Ends to replace Salah at Liverpool. Big up, bro. Big up, Archie. I want to see us play like prime 2009, 2019 Liverpool. Yeah, I think, but with prime Liverpool, everything worked, right? Everything worked from left back to right back to the centre backs to the midfield to the front three. Like everything was clicking, everything clicked. At the moment, it feels like we're heavy one side, we're less so the other. Feels like we can't get the combination right in the midfield as well. So yeah, I think these things once we can kind of figure out how to fix these things, and for me, I think they're very simple fixes, but that that we've got so many midfielders, and when you say like if you have your pairing, like for an example, the double pivot in my opinion should be Gravenberch and Szoboszlai. I think they offer the best balance for me. You have one ball carrier, but you also have a box to box player in there as well. But you also have someone, they both can pass the ball between the lines. And I think when they play together, they make quicker decisions. And then I think Florian Wirtz will then be better for it because then they'll play the ball to him quicker as well in those spaces that I see him operating. The option we then have is a Curtis, which I think can do the job as well. But because of his style and the way he plays, sometimes that quick snap pass, he doesn't give it, but there's times when I've seen him do it. But his style is to calm the game down. So when you got to play like Florian Wirtz in between the lines, you can't have a Curtis or a McAllister in the team in the starting because they calm the game down. Where he's moving and dropping into those spaces. So you need players that not gonna overthink it. You need players that's just gonna play it. And I think Sobo would play it, and I think Gravenberch would play it. And I think that's why I've seen, and I cast you guys back to go and watch the Atletico Bilbao Athletic Club, as they want to call themselves. Go and watch that game back. And that was the double pivot. And I really